I am a doctor who knows several secrets of our medicine secrets that can cure even incurable diseases. One of these secrets is called cold feet, because cold feet are the cause of a large number of illnesses. It is precisely because of cold feet that inflammatory processes occur in the genitourinary system. It is precisely because of cold feet that prostate problems develop. It is precisely because of cold feet that gynecological issues arise. It is precisely because of cold feet that people develop hypertension. It is precisely because of cold feet that autoimmune processes occur. Cold feet are the root cause of a huge number of diseases. And I often talk about this, and as a medical doctor, by gently warming up a person's feet, I can effectively cure a vast number of various illnesses, well, practically almost all of them. And I explain this in a fairly accessible way, describing how warmth moves through the body. But sometimes I frequently get asked one very important question, and it's a truly key and fundamental question that often arises. Why do people consistently have cold feet? Well, quite obviously, the feet are the farthest extremities from the central core of the body, so they naturally tend to cool down more rapidly. But why do most people in today's modern society, with all its comforts and advancements, frequently experience persistently cold feet? That's the question. And many people try to find the answer to it. I specifically monitored information on the internet. Do people know why their feet are cold? I do. And today I'll tell you. But first, to truly understand what is correct and accurate, let us carefully examine and thoroughly analyze the various incorrect reasons and common misconceptions together, exploring them in detail to gain a comprehensive understanding. The first thing that comes up is iron deficiency in the body. Your feet are cold because your body lacks iron. Why on earth would that be? Of course not. No, that would cause anemia. But specifically, iron deficiency anemia. But that has nothing to do with cold feet, absolutely not. No, that's not the reason. So if you saturate your body, if you start taking terbinafine, for example, or some kind of fermlec, will your feet get warm because of that? No way, come on, number. So the reason has nothing to do with that at all. That's complete nonsense. Poor blood flow. The most common answer I hear is, my feet are cold because blood doesn't reach them. But in that case, your feet would be white. If blood doesn't reach a part of the body, that part turns white. I perform capillaroscopy. For that, I need the patient's hand. The patient puts out their hand. I take hold of it. The hand is ice cold. I ask, why are your hands cold? Why are your hands cold? They say the blood isn't getting there. What blood? The hand is pink. Look, here's a white coat, this is white, like if blood wasn't getting there, but the hand is pink. If the hand is pink, that means blood is reaching it. Why is it cold then? The blood isn't, but the blood's getting there. If you cut the finger, blood will come out. So why is the hand cold? The blood is flowing. Why is the hand cold? That's not it. It's poor innervation. A patient with multiple sclerosis. I'm explaining it clearly in plain language. Your multiple sclerosis is caused by cold feet, which leads to cold adrenal glands, which in turn causes systemic autoimmune diseases and damage to Schwann cells in the nervous system. In other words, your multiple sclerosis is due to cold feet. But the person tells me, no, my feet are cold because of multiple sclerosis, because of poor innervation. But what is the connection between nerves and the delivery of warmth? Does warmth reach a person's feet because of innervation? Or, if you cut a nerve, will the foot suddenly become numb or cold? What is the mechanism by which warmth reaches the feet? It's not nerves, it's not blood, it's not iron. Some people say it's poor autonomic innervation. Partially, yes. With vegetative vascular dystonia, there is a disruption of thermoregulation in certain parts of the body. But this isn't systemic, and it's not always the cause of cold feet. Lowering blood pressure, well, that's the same as reduced blood flow. Sedentary lifestyle, hypodynamia, yes, that's a factor. You know, there are two ways that heat enters the body, and one of these ways is muscle contraction. If your feet are really cold, stand up and do 50 squats. You'll notice that your feet really do warm up, but not for long. This means that heat is released from the breakdown of glycogen in your muscles, which in turn warms your feet, but only for a short time. So what actually provides heat to your feet? When we're not walking, when we're sitting, when we're lying down, when we're not contracting our muscles? That's a good question. The thing is, our body has a heat supply system. Unfortunately, in Western medicine, in European medical universities, this isn't taught at all. Moreover, when I ask doctors, what makes your body warm, there's a profound lack of understanding. People didn't learn this in medical school. How is that possible? People say the body is warm because there are mitochondria in the cells. Mitochondria break down glucose, and mitochondria keep us warm. But that's nonsense, because lizards have exactly the same mitochondria, and their cells stay cold even though they break down the same glucose. There are warm-blooded creatures, and there are cold-blooded creatures. So how do warm-blooded creatures generate heat? Well, to not keep you waiting, I'll tell you how it works. The thing is, in our body, there's a furnace responsible for producing heat. That furnace is the liver, That's where the name comes from. So what does it bake? Well, it's not pancakes, that's for sure. The thing is, the liver contains reserves of a substance called glycogen. Essentially, it's glucose, just linked together like a chain, one after another. This glycogen is like coal deposits. Glycogen is found in muscles, glycogen is in the heart, and glycogen is in the liver. And it's a source of energy. But why is there glycogen in the liver? The thing is, glycogen in the liver simply breaks down, not serving any other function and doing just one thing, producing heat. But what is being heated? Well, obviously the liver itself, the blood, but not all the blood passes through the liver. Actually, only a small portion of the blood goes through the liver. So what is being heated in the liver by the breakdown of glycogen? Well, actually, the answer is rather complicated. The thing is, this heat is energy. It moves from the liver further along the membranes of certain cells in a specific direction. And these pathways of energy movement along cell membranes are called channels for energy flow. And in Eastern medicine, they are called meridians. So in our body, this energy moves from the liver further into the arms, from the arms into the legs, and from the legs onward. And this happens 3 times over the course of a day, moving through all the organs and warming every single one of them. And these channels for energy flow are called meridians. In Eastern medicine, my goodness, they do everything with this medicine. They can cure all diseases by balancing energy. My father used to practice this a long time ago. He was a doctor who, using acupuncture and reflexotherapy, was able to cure all illnesses simply by directing the flow of energy in the right direction. It's all very simple. I'll explain this process to you from a slightly different perspective. So, meridians are special channels that can't be seen under a microscope. That's why in Western medicine they believe these don't exist. But in Eastern medicine they know about them, study them, and sometimes show diagrams like these. Here you can see in the spine on the person's back, to the left and right of the spine, these meridians are marked. They are the pathways along which energy moves. Energy moves through the channels in the arms, through the channels on the torso, through the channels in the legs, and through the channels on the back. And if any part of your body feels cold, even under your clothes, it means that warmth is not sufficiently reaching that area through the channel, through the meridian. Once again, if some parts of your body are cold, it means warmth is not reaching them. Something is blocking the flow of warmth through that channel. Now, let's return to the beginning, to our main topic. Why do people often experience cold feet? Yes, I know that cold feet are a cause of illness and that you need to warm your feet up. But why are they cold? And friends, they are cold for one reason, because warmth is not reaching them. Not blood, not blood. Warmth along the meridians that run to the right and left of the spine. And the reason why warmth doesn't reach there, as banal as it may sound, is exactly what I talk about in all my videos. The reason for cold feet is compressed, non-functioning or impaired meridians in the back, and this is because a person has a curvature of the spine, and the curvature of the back and spine is due to sleeping in the wrong position. Sleeping on your side, sleeping on your stomach, sleeping on a soft mattress, or even on a hard mattress but in a crooked position. The reason for cold feet, I have researched this, and it matches in all cases. The primary reason for experiencing cold feet is that you might be sleeping in the wrong position. You should only sleep on your back, only on your back. You know what's interesting? Among people who sleep on their backs, I don't encounter cold feet. Yes, your feet are cold because you sleep curled up, just like that. This is called you sleep in the fetal position. This is considered the most harmful sleeping position. Sleeping in the fetal position is a position for dying. That is, a person dies in this position. You must not sleep in the fetal position. You should only sleep on your back. Well, that's the whole answer. And if you want your feet not to be cold, the first thing you need to do is change the bed you sleep on. Not your sleeping position. How can I get this across to people? They only hear me partially. They understand that you need to sleep on your back. But that's the wrong conclusion. You need to sleep on the right kind of bed. You'll only be able to sleep on your back if you put a board under the spot where you sleep. No one can sleep on their back. At night, you'll fall asleep and turn onto your side. And to sleep the whole night only on your back, you need to put a board under the place where you sleep. A board. On a board, you won't be able to turn over, nor on a board, you won't be able to sleep on your side or on your stomach. You need to put a board down. And then, on top of the board, what I recommend is a tumenium mat, so that while you sleep, you also get some warmth, even a slight temperature, so that warmth moves along the meridians. And when you sleep on a tumenium mat and sleep on your back, there is no disruption in the flow of warmth, and your whole body gets warmed up. When you're cold, your feet are cold, lie down to sleep on a board and put a tumenium mat on top. And then, even at a relatively low temperature, 35 degrees, your body will warm up after some time, up to an hour, and your feet will stop being cold. It's not just about warming up your feet. They will start to heat up from the inside due to the proper flow of warmth. Yes. Well, that's the solution. What needs to be done so that your feet not only get warm, but are warm on their own? Yes, people tell me, doctor, we're talking about warming up our feet, but how do we make sure they don't get cold? How do we make them warm on their own? Here's the answer. The right sleep in the right position, and once again, it all comes down to the same thing. Basically, friends, I have a lot of videos on YouTube, hundreds of videos, but the foundation of all these videos comes down to fundamental principles, both for the spine and, as you now understand, for cold feet as well. If you want a healthy back, if you want a healthy body, you need to sleep on your back. I can't, people tell me. Sleep on my back. Have you already put a board under your mattress? Not yet. Well, then it's just not meant to be. You won't get any results. I often have people come to see me and complain, doctor, I do everything you say, except for what you actually tell me to do. Have you already learned to sleep on your back? I can't sleep on my back. Did you put the board under your mattress? Not yet. I've been listening to your videos for the past year and a half. I do everything you say, but I still haven't put the board in. Everyone is the creator of their own destiny. Recently, someone told me a phrase, and I agree with it. There are no incurable diseases. There are incurable people. In other words, there are people who simply cannot be cured. It's not the disease that can't be cured, it's the person. So don't remain among the incurable. Guys, change your sleeping position. Use a tumenium mat, and this alone will help provide warmth to your feet and ensure they are well heated. That's the information for today about the causes of cold feet. Friends, thank you for your attention. I won't overload you with more. Thank you very much for staying on Dr. Golot's channel. Subscribe, leave your comments here, and give your likes. I'm always happy to see you here. See you next time on Dr. Golot's channel. Goodbye.